Good morning and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Saturday, the 11th of November. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. All right, we've got a Saturday that is quieter than our Friday. However, those of you who are on Friday, you are happy enough with Friday. So I feel like a bit like a weight's been lifted. A little bit. My word, did everybody need that? There's only so long, right? You can go on a video and go, we're not owed, but we're due. And statistically, we're hitting a strike rate. It's just not happening. I can say it till the cows come home, but I'm not trying to convince people. I don't want people to spend money they can't afford. But I could see from the stats something was going to happen at some point. But my word, we've had to wait for that. So yesterday, so Friday was officially, as far as this year goes, second best day for the channel. For some, it'll have been the best day because the best day we had involved a 4-horse Lucky 15 and one leg was only payable by 3 bookies. So that would have made a difference, and it ranks actually 4th best day since the channel started for profit. Which is very, very nice. So we've had profitable days of 4 horses, big uns placing in Yankees and Lucky 15s. We've had a couple of nice ones from 3 horses in a Lucky 15. And this is our best one in terms of 2 winners in one bet with an additional double on. So yeah, very, very happy for everybody who's been following. And I think the hard thing is, I know there'll be some, no one's coming on yet and said they missed it, but there'll be a bunch of people that sort of have lost faith in the last sort of month or two. And, there's people asking fair questions about stats and stuff like that. And it doesn't make everything right in the world, but from a stats point of view, channel's tracking now 10% profit for the year after yesterday's big un. And I know plenty of folk all have got a better return than the channel. To be honest, the most important stat for me is since I changed the stats at the beginning of September, that's now reading an £89 profit after yesterday. So it was certainly in deficit. We were a couple of hundred behind since then, and I'm sure there'll be people sceptical thinking, well, you're changing your stats and you need Sky Bet to win on this. Not the case in the long term. In the short term, it does help. I'll always say that it does help. So so thank you for everybody for all the support. There's lots of really nice comments. I haven't managed to get around all of them yesterday, so just very, very grateful for all of that. I know it wasn't everyone's cup of tea yesterday, clearly, and some people got triggered, and some of the stuff that YouTube firewall blocked out you didn't see. Oh, there's somebody really hates me, but there you go. I don't think I'm such a heinous human being, but there you go. All right. So what have we got for Saturday's vid? We're going to go through the recap of Friday. We will go through Saturday's staking plan, which is a quieter, but I've made it interesting. So it's a £16 staking plan. There's 4 bets. 1 win Trixie, 1 each way Yankee, which is the main bet. I've got 1 each way 4-fold. So I haven't got a Saturday 6-fold TV. I've decided what I'll do is I'm not going to do those unless I'm particularly happy with it. Today I've got 4-fold. I think 3 races of the 4-fold on the television, but just an each way 4-fold, and then I've got combination double as a saver bet between the last race at Newcastle and a nice race at Chelmsford I liked. So we've got a combo double to finish us off. So £16 stake is what we've got for Saturday. If I'm doing 16 and I did 19.50 yesterday, if you did 19.50 yesterday, please make sure you do 16 today. Do not get carried away because we had one great day and then suddenly you go start spending loads more cash. I'm quite happy that today's quieter for the staking plan than Friday, because I don't want to give people the impression that you just go a bit gung-ho the day after. That's not how it works. Personally, I should just be staking exactly the same way I usually do. So nice win doesn't mean suddenly I start doubling my stakes and stuff. All right. We've also talked about Tipster Leagues. The Tipster League's on today. I think it's 10 races on the TV, so you've got a bit of choice, although some of them are small fields. I was going to talk about Newcastle draw bias, and I was going to go back round because we've mentioned already this week handicap debutant horses. We're going to go around on that one. So a few bits to kind of cover. Okay, so as far as Friday goes. We started off with a win, Trixie. We started off with a nice winner. And a touch of a drift. I think it was 3-1. Sadly, that was second, and that one got absolutely strung out wide on the bend at Chelmsford and was cooked. So no joy on the win, Trixie. The Newcastle bet, I think we got done by the draw and unluckiness more than anything else. So Mrs. Meader, no good. Ben McDewey unshit the jockey at the start. So some would have got a bet credit, some would have got refund. I just called it a loss for the channel. What would you know was second? Pink Parfait, no good, and Cat's Bob was second. So 2 seconds, a mishap and 2 poor ones. So the actual return for the channel, I think, was like 95 or 99p. It was not very much. What I would say at Newcastle, and be interesting to see how it goes on Saturday. But there was the normally is you want to be on the slightly higher side of the draw, middle to high is where I'd normally look at. Don't really want low unless it stand out, and that one I thought was. But the bias towards high numbers was so pronounced last night in Newcastle. So if you look at the last 6 races, they were all handicaps and they were all on the straight course, and it was high number dominance. So in the last 2 races, there were 2 10 horse races. The last 2 races, you could have blindly bet TriCast and stuff last night and had a great day. So the last 2 races, the first 4 home out of 10 were in stall 7, 8, 9 and 10 in both races, and the 5th horse home is in stall 6. So that is very, very clear that in the earlier races you found that there was an odd couple of exceptions that but went against the grain, and there was one horse I think must have gone a bit wrong that tailed off, who was stalled in the outside stall. But you look at the results for yesterday and look at where the horses were drawn in the last 6 races, very, very strong high draw bias. So it'd be interesting to see if it plays out like that for Newcastle on Saturday. And then Bet3 was the one that did us over nicely. So 4 o'clock extra, Run to Milan, gallantly stayed on for 4th. It paid out everywhere except Betfred as far as I can see. So sorry if you were Betfred, that did not pay out. I did say that yesterday on the video to avoid Betfred for that bet, for that reason. Dance Night and Day, backed in but no good. And then just when you're thinking it's not going to be a good day, you go and get 2 absolute zingers. And just goes to show as well, my best 2 horses of the day with an additional double. And because they're bigger prices, that often that means that's greater value, and that's why there's slightly more stake. There's a part of me always going to go, could have made that like a 45p each way double, couldn't I, or whatever. But I think everybody will take what we got there. So for a lot, you would have got Chummy on the drift at 40s. That was the SP, which I was really surprised about. And then Air Guide, which I've been reliably informed by a lot of Irish followers, actually translate as money. So Chummy money. That is our double was Chummy money. So 40s and 16s SPs, 22s and 25s. But honestly, we've talked about it so many times. The amount of times we've had one winner going in, and last Friday it was Ben Venute, I think, was about 18s 20-1 going on to last leg, no good. But finally managed to pull it off, and delighted it's at Dundalk. So that's brilliant, because I always talk about Dundalk being a hero or zero track. Sometimes we do brilliant, sometimes we do terrible, but that's our best Dundalk win from the channel, definitely. So. Excuse me. So paid up was we had a place treble with for the Yankee with a win double on it, and then the additional double. So really, really good result on that one. That's that. So I got it as 1950 on 319.24. So a £299.74 profit, I think it was. So 30 times return on day. No, that's not right. 15 times. Sorry, that's an exaggeration. 15 times return on day. Let's not get into one of them people. 15 times return on day. So really, really good. So for the month, clearly we're well up now. I think it's about 260 or something for the month, and for the year, 10%. Is where we're at. But all the stats are in the description. The description as they usually are. Okay. I was going to mention your handicap debutant. It's really interesting. So there was a horse yesterday, as a few of you tipped it. Asian Spice won at Exeter 28-1. Great example. I looked at that race and I said I didn't really fancy it, and I'm sure there was a few lurkers in there. Handicap debutant. if you look at the pure form, that as we've talked about already this week, you get 3 horses running 3 times in the maiden or novice races, get the qualifying mark, and they're in. If you look at where the horse performed, where the rating it was given by the handicapper, I think the handicapper thought that horse is a lot better than how it's performed. But you would have picked nothing on the actual bare form that says that horse had any right to even be competitive in that race. If you go look at breeding for that horse, the Dam won on handicap debut at Exeter over that distance. It had a half sibling who also was not great, and then best performances were Exeter over that course and distance. So there was a bit of previous there in the family history if you want to go to that level. And I say that because I've said it before, but I always go back when there's big price winners, big price places. I always go back and have a look. It's really helpful to do when you start learning how to read form. Go back and have a look and see what you would find. Is there any reason? Sometimes you're just like, there's nothing in there. There's no way I'd have picked that horse. But that Asian Spice, I could argue a case of how you could have picked that based on breeding. But I mean, yeah, there's a handicap today at Gorham Park, 20 runners. I'm not touching it. There was a bunch of horses in there on handicap debut. Any one of them could just suddenly spark up a bit of form and stuff. But yeah, on dodgy ground with that many horses, I think it's 2.5 miles. Not for me. So yeah, I'm not getting involved in a race just because it's got lots of extra places. Okay, so we've got Saturday's bet. Started with a win, Trixie. 1 Gorham Park. It's in a Gorham Park horse I've got. 2 at Aintree. It's 12.53 Gorham Park. Clifton Warrior 15-8. And then I got a couple of Aintree ones in short races, so 4 runners, 3 runners, and I've got the outsiders. I like the outsiders. I think they're very much overpriced. 1 o'clock Aintree, Tiger Orchid at 17-2, and 3:20 Aintree, Miller's Bank 100-30. 50p win Trixie, £2 is your bet. You want a bookie paying best price guaranteed on multiples, 365, Paddy, Coral, Labrooks, etc. Then, main bet for the day is our Yankee. So we've got 135 Aintree, Risk and Roll. It's been on the channel before, 11-1. Then we're going to go 145 Down Royale. Down Royale. Sounds making it sound even more posh. Down Royal. Wajaha, which we've had a few times on the channel. I'm liking the sort of soft ground hurdle return. The interesting I think with that one is it only ran Wednesday on the all weather, so I'm hoping it doesn't get pulled out. But I actually quite like it. Apart from the fact it only ran on Wednesday, there's a lot I like about that. Then 2:10 Aintree, Chelmsford, I think maybe 25-1, and then finishing off 3:28 shorter one Down Royal Clonmene 17-2. It's a 20p each way Yankee, a 50p win single on Risk and Roll, and then our main two Wajaha and Chancellor, 50p each way singles and a 30p each way double. So it's a bit scrawly writing. 30p each way double, 2 50p each way singles, no single on the last one. If the bet's down, the bet's down. And then Sky Best for it, 365 second best. Then either Paddy, Coral or Labrooks. And then Betway or Betfred. They are the best 7 bookies for Bet 2. So that's that. The bet free, I haven't got a 6-fold ACCA for the TV. I've got a 4-fold, and I've got a £1 each way 4-fold. So 205 Newcastle, Brad the Brief 13-2, 225 Wincanton, Blackjack Magic 13-2, 245 Aintree, half shot 6-1, 315 Newcastle, Bielsa 9-2, £1 each way 4-fold. So it's £2. Basically £2 on. If they all make the frame, then we get £22 back. If they all win, that'll be absolutely like we'll all be over the moon, won't we? But if they all make the frame, at least, that's £22. So you're basically talking about what's that, like a 11 to 1, something like that, 10 to 1, 11 to 1, that kind of range for all of these to get placed. Sky Best, Paddy second best, and then Hills 888, Betfair, Betfred. So very specific on this. These are the 6 best bookies for this bet, not 365. Sky, Paddy second best, then Hills 888, Betfair, Betfred. £1 each way 4-fold or £1 each way accumulator. And finishing off combo double, I've got 3 and 3, and therefore I've gone no singles on it. 345 Newcastle, Yuki and Glen 20s, Priduen 16s, One Smooth Operator 14s, going on to the 7:30 Chelmsford, Hello Me, Cuban Breeze, The Waiting Game. So if we sink that race, if nothing goes on, then we've got nothing going on to Chelmsford, and I'm perfectly fine with that, because I think there was some good. The market's not quite right, I don't think, for either of those races. But because there's a few you could argue case for, I wasn't going to start putting singles on it. So it's 9 times 25p each way doubles. So you put them all in the bet slip. There's 9 combinations of doubles, makes it 450. Sky best, and then second best. That's because Sky are 5 and 4. Then you've got 365 for Paddy, Betfred, and Betway 4 and 4. So again, very specific bookie advice. 365, Paddy, Betfred, Betway are 4 and 4. 450 is your bet. That's that. What do I need to say to you? Oh, golf. Not very exciting on the golf. Doesn't look like we're going to do much. Lower's got a better chance than Elvira, but we'll see. But doesn't look like much. Outlook for this week. I'm not currently expecting to be doing any other videos until Tuesday night. I said that last week, and then I popped up with a video for Monday's racing. So we'll see, but not expecting to do anything till Tuesday night. Tips the league. So tips the league stuff. I think there's 10 races. Please read the tips to comment. Please reply to the tips to comment to enter. But you'll be able to see the specific races, because they're not all in chronological order on the telly from the 3 meetings, because there's Newcastle, Aintree and Wincanton on the TV, but specific races. So please make sure you pick the right races. It's not all of them blanket. Please reply to the comment. Please make it no more than 3 selections. Please don't put decimal points in your staking plan. Please no multiples, singles only. And we'll see what comes of that. Was there anything else? Last thing I was going to say, got a channel announcement. For those of you who've stayed till the end of the video, channel announcement. We had a cracker at Dundalk. My flights are booked. We're going in the new year. So the next channel meetup, I can officially tell you, is going to be at Dundalk. 26th of January is when I'm going to be there. So as I did at Kempton, I'm going to go to the races, and then you can feel free if you want to come along and meet me there. Never been to Dundalk, very excited about it. But yeah, flights are booked. 26th of January, it's Friday night. I shall be at Dundalk. Anybody's welcome. Come along, bring yourself, bring your friends, bring your significant other, whatever you want to do. Last time at Kempton, we had an absolute cracking selection of different types of folks, from people working in betting shops to traders to statisticians to people just happy to go racing. Like it was all sorts. So I mean, it makes it sound like there was hundreds of people. There wasn't hundreds of people. I think it was about 10 or 12. But yeah, everybody's welcome to come along. Unless you've got some sort of issue with me, then stay at home. That'll be fine. All right. More details to come on that one. But yeah, 26th of January, Dundalk, Friday night is the second official channel meetup. Kind of had to be Dundalk, particularly after last night, wasn't it? All right, that's me. Have a good one. Probably won't see you till Tuesday night. Thank you very much, and thank you again for all the lovely support. It's much, really, genuinely, really is appreciated, because it's been hard work the last few months. There's a lot of days I've just not been feeling it at all, in terms of like, I don't want to make a video and put bets out there and stuff. And yeah, there's just a nice sense of relief, and also just really helpful that everybody's got a nice little benefit out of that yesterday. So thank you very much. All right, see you Tuesday. Bye bye.